Why do billionaires treat art like a secret weapon? Because in the art market, value isn't found, it's manufactured. The first thing you need to know about the art market is it's surprisingly small. It feels big. It shows up in movies, magazines, and million-dollar headlines. But in raw numbers, it's tiny. Each year, about $62 billion worth of art changes hands. Sounds like a lot. Walmart sells that much every 41 days. Tomatoes, a literal fruit, bring in 3 times as much global revenue as art. There are individual companies you've never heard of pulling in more revenue annually than the entire art world. And the second thing to know? It's wildly concentrated. About 82% of all art sales by value happen in just 3 places: New York, London, and Hong Kong. And nearly half of all art dealers reported having fewer than 20 unique buyers in a full year. That's not a market. That's a high-end group chat. As you climb higher into the industry, the exclusivity only intensifies. One study found that 30% of all solo exhibitions at major US museums featured artists from just 5 galleries. Zoom in on elite museums like the Guggenheim, and that number jumps. Out of 12 solo shows in one period, 11 artists came from the same 5 galleries. So what are we looking at here? A small elite market, highly consolidated, controlled by a handful of people, which to any economist screams, this market is ripe for manipulation. But to understand how it's manipulated, you first need to understand how it works. Let's take a real-world example. Back in the 90s, Roy Lichtenstein, already a major name in pop art, put together a final set of nude prints. He sold them through his longtime gallery partner, Leo Castelli. That was standard. Fast forward to 2020. One of those prints, nude with joyous painting, makes its way to auction. Enter Christie's, one of 2 titans of the art auction world, the other being Sotheby's. Here's what usually happens. Christie's gives an estimate, say $20 million to $30 million. The seller and auction house agree on a reserve price, a minimum below which the art won't sell. Sometimes Christie's will guarantee the sale, agreeing to buy the work themselves if no one else bids. If the sale goes well, Christie's takes a cut from both seller and buyer. That means, if a painting sells for $40 million, the buyer might actually pay closer to $46 million. Christie's made at least $5.7 million from that one sale. In a 10-minute bidding war. By the end of that night, nearly $421 million in art had been sold. That's almost 1% of the entire global art market in just 4 hours. So far, this all sounds like high-stakes luxury shopping. What's the issue? Well, it's not how art is sold. It's what that system enables. Let's talk value. Unlike most things, art has no intrinsic worth. If you stumble across a painting in a thrift store with no context, how much would you pay for it? $50? $300? That's exactly what happened to a now infamous painting in 1958. Eventually, it's identified as the Lost Salvator Mundi by Leonardo da Vinci. Fast forward. It sells for $450 million to Saudi royalty. That's how subjective art value is. It's about reputation, access, and endorsement. Let's meet Jose Mugrabi. He owns over 800 Warhols. Between 2005 and 2013, he bought one in 4 Warhols at auction. Why? Because the public price sets value. Even if he overpays, it boosts everything else he owns. This is market manipulation in plain sight, and it's legal. Elite collectors know each other. They protect each other. They keep the market high together. Let's talk about donations. In the US, donate art to a museum, get a tax write-off, appraise it high, write off the donation, and you might make more back than you spent. Less than 0.1% of these donations are audited. When they are, a third are overvalued, by 38% on average. It's a system that rewards wealth and access. And if your donation goes to a major museum, the rest of your collection just got a value boost. This isn't shady, it's just the way things are. Built for the rich, shielded from scrutiny, no registry, no reporting, no transparency. Who loses? Artists who don't fit the mold and the public, who can't access this market, can't game the tax system, and can't use art to quietly move millions. Sure, the stock market isn't perfect, but it has rules. Oversight, data. The art world, none of that. Every market can be exploited. That's why we regulate them. But the art market, it's just small and exclusive enough for those inside to keep it just the way they like it.